correct me if I'm wrong. This is a brand new thing for you to be doing, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm a really long overdue thing. Up to now, mostly I've been doing just the backup role, and for people like Blackmore and Malmsteen and whatever else. But this is my band now, and my songs, and I actually have a say on things.
Right, right. Was this kind of things that you had put together from the entirety of your career and like, oh, I'd like to use this sometime, or did you sit down to write this project specifically as this project?
No, no, no. It's been stuff that I've been working on for a long time. I mean, I had the idea of forming a band ages ago, and I just finally decided that it was about time to do it now. So yeah, I mean, there is some stuff that I wrote for this album, but a good part of it is stuff that I've been writing through the years.
Right, right. Was there when you put it together? Was there like a unifying theme that you had in your mind to all the material you wanted to use for it?
Yeah, I mean, I picked what would be more compatible, even though I made a point to be diverse. As far as the music itself, I didn't want to just be classified as a speed metal band or classic rock band or anything like that. So I think that even though many of the songs differ from each other in tempo, and some are more melodic than others or whatever, it still can be said that it's played by the same band. And that's what I was trying to achieve. See, these days, when I listen to recordings, and I find that the whole album is the same song basically with small variations using the same formula, I get tired very easily, and I didn't want to do the same thing with my album. That's why I tried to make it more interesting for the listener, just with more diversity.
Right, right. Is this something that you'll ever be able to perform live? Is there a band that can take this out?
Oh yes, yes. We're actually going on tour this year. We're scheduling a tour in Europe at the moment for June, and since the album is going to be out in the States at the end of May, we're definitely going to be touring the States and Canada and the rest of the world, for that matter. We're basically starting in June, but it's going to be an ongoing thing throughout the world.
Right, right. And I think I saw you're on some dates, like some big festival dates with Heaven and Hell, otherwise known as
Yeah,
Black Sabbath.
that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So is that significant to you in any way who you're performing with, or is it just kind of like, hey, here's a gig and a chance for us?
No, no, no. It's extremely meaningful for me. I mean, you being just in the same bill with those guys is amazing. I mean, I had been in festivals before with giants, like Iron Maiden, Motley Crue, and you name it, but it was with Malmsteen. So this time it's with my own band, so it's especially meaningful for me. I mean, I have such a respect for those people, and they were so influential on what's going on today in metal music that I'm just privileged, to be in the same bill with those guys.
All right. So you've worked with both Richie Blackmore and Yngwie Malmsteen,
Yeah.
and if these two guys are known for anything other than their music, which is probably the only thing they should be known for,
Hmm.
it's their personalities, and
Yeah.
not only their personalities, but in particular for being very hard to deal with. Is this has been this true to your experience? Question number one, and question number two is how have you learned to handle your own band through dealing with two virtuoso players like that?
Well, I mean, I don't know. In my case, I have idolized Richie Blackmore since I was a kid, and I knew pretty much everything about him. I knew how demanding he was, and basically that kept me on my toes all the time because while I was with him, because I would be really prepared for rehearsals and make my life a lot easier. And he seemed to be a pretty fair person. If he sees you working hard, he's good to you. The moment he senses that you're laying your guard down, then he'll dissect you, you know. But it was good training, and in fact, that training with Richie was really helpful to deal with Yngwie, who's also very demanding. I mean, I think Richie perhaps is a little bit more demanding than Yngwie, but no question, you know, that they're both, they have very strong personalities, their own ways of doing things, and sometimes that clashes with other people's personalities, which builds them in turn a reputation of being very difficult. But I can say from my experience, it hasn't been so bad, you know. In fact, it's been a very enriching experience. You know, I've learned tons from both of those guys. Now, how that I apply that to my Violent Storm band, well, many of those experiences that I've learned, I'm utilizing now with my own band. I mean, I'm not I'm not a dictator, but you know, I basically have a very strong vision of what I want for the band, and everybody has to go along with it if they want to be in the band. So so far, no problems.
When you're going to hire a producer, and you're going to have somebody like KK Downing and Roy Z, these are not only people who are producers noted for sitting behind the board. These are both performing guitarists as well. Right. Do you think that helped propel what it was you were trying to get across, or was there conflict there at all?
No. I mean, me being a bass player, of course, I want the bass louder than everything else.
Right.
But so they helped putting a balance there into things, and of course, both of them being guitar player, they brought up the guitars a bit. But that, overall, that helped the actual sound of the album, and it really didn't take away from what I was after. You know, I mean, I think the bass lines are pretty prominent, and see, the songs are written from the bass; they're built from bass riffs and stuff. So I didn't want that to be buried with guitars. I mean, I made that clear with him, and I think at the end it worked out great. Perhaps, you know, before they came along, it maybe was a bit too much bass, I have to admit.
So, you know, the old maxim of everything louder than everything else. Always.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. All right, so you put together 10 tracks for this particular record, and I'm going to guess usually musicians have a far more than what it is that they produced for the record. Is that true here?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of stuff, but you know, some of it will be saved for the next album. We just did what I thought was appropriate for now, and you know, it's kind of a way to start and see how people receive it and how the critics receive it, and then we go from there, you know. But yeah, there's plenty of other material waiting. You know.
Now, is it the same band that's going out live to play this as, you know, performed on the CD?
Well, yeah, the guitar player is the new addition. We really, you know, having the 2 songs played by Yngwie, 2 songs with KK, a couple of songs here and there. Roy Z played the guitars, and yeah, I did the rest of the guitars. There was one guy that did one recording for us, but we really hadn't found the ideal guitar player during the recording of the album. Mm-hmm. So after we ended up with the recording, we finished that, and we started looking for somebody to go on tour with us. And Martin Nichols, is an English guitar player, was recommended to us, and once I saw the guy play, I had no more need to search for anything. That was it. The guy is extremely good, and to be honest with you, you know, having played with Richie and Yngwie, I don't really get impressed that easily with guitar players.
I wouldn't imagine.
So, but with Martin, he did, you know. So Martin's going to be recognized pretty soon as one of the greatest.
Of course, a musician has to serve themselves and has to create art that they are happy with. But I think the world would very much like to see Richie Blackmore pick up an electric guitar again and play maybe some harsher chords like he used to. Do you think that this is in any likelihood something that'll happen?
Well, it's certainly not something that I heard from him directly or from his camp that he's planning on doing anytime soon. You know, he seems quite happy playing why he's playing these days.